Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel and today's video. In today's video, I am going to review the Hasina palette from Blush Tribe. But before we get into the video, I highly suggest you guys to subscribe to my channel. I do videos only about cruelty-free products and cruelty-free makeup, so if you do want to watch that, then please subscribe, but let's just hop into the review. So this palette is from a brand called Blush Tribe, and I have talked about them in the past when I reviewed, and I have done multiple tutorials with the Blossom palette from Blush Tribe. It looks like this. So this is a colorful dream. This is like a rainbow palette. It is a rainbow palette, to be honest. It's all matte, and in my review video when I reviewed this, I go a little bit more in depth about the brand. So if you do want to know more about the brand, then please check out that review before this or after this. You can decide for yourself. I will leave all of the videos that I have with this palette and the Hasina palette in my description box in case you want to watch it. I have also created this look with the Hasina palette, but I will not show you that until tomorrow, because tomorrow I will have 3 looks 1 palette with this palette. So just a little bit about the brand. The brand is UK based, and they do ship worldwide except for China and Israel. A lot of you guys seems to ask me how much shipping is, but I guess it kind of depends on which country you live in. So I recommend you guys to check it out for yourself, and also to follow them on Instagram, because on Instagram they usually have codes and offers where they have free shipping in Europe and the US. I am aware that there are countries outside EU or Europe and US, but if you are living in one of these countries, then check out, and you can get free shipping. If you don't, then I suggest that you check out their website so you can see if or how much shipping is. The palette is retailing for 22, let me check, 22.99 pounds, so 23 pounds. It does come with a little slipper right here, and they are exactly the same on the front as on the bottom. So on the back, it just says cruelty free, and then it says that it has a shelf life of 24 months. It does say which ingredients are in the palette. Each pan consists of 1.86 grams, which is quite a lot. I would not expect that, but or I wouldn't expect that, but I didn't know that. It is more than I actually thought it would be, which is always a nice surprise. The palette contains, how many was there now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shimmers and 8 mattes, which I think is a good variation. You know that I love my mattes, but I do prefer, or I do like that they put in so many shimmers, because in the other palette, this palette, it is an all matte palette, so now I can mix them. And I was a bit anxious, but also very curious about their formula, because as I said, this was the first time I used shimmers from the brand. I've only tried mattes from the brand, and I am pleasantly surprised, and like, I love their shimmers. I haven't used glitter glue, I haven't used a wet brush, I haven't used anything of that when I have applied the shimmers. They have applied like this on their own, which I am so happy about. I was so surprised. I don't mind using a glitter glue with the shimmer. I don't mind spraying my brush when I'm applying a shimmer. That's just not, like, I don't care about it. So the fact that they performed like this is so nice. I do want to recommend you guys to, when you do use a brush with these, use a flat brush, and then instead of like swirling in the pan, I would say tap and pick up the product, because if you swirl, you will get a lot of kick up. Also, if you don't spray your brush, you will get fallout. So spray your brush if you have done your base, and then you can do and then you won't get fallout. I haven't experienced that the fallout have leaved any mark or anything on my face, so I have just wiped it off with a clean brush, and it has looked like before. Now I'm going to show you guys some swatches of the palette. The first swatches that you see right now are used with a brush, and I have used the Essence concealer brush, and I have also used some eyeshadow primer, and I do like the swatches. Like, I think that they swatch really well. I assumed that they would swatch better, like the shimmers would swatch better, but I think it is because when I apply it on my lids, I have a lot of product and I don't have a lot of areas, but when I apply it to my arm and then try to drag it out, it is a little bit of a difference. And now you will see that I have swatched them with my finger on top of eyeshadow primer as well. I did also want to compare some shades in the Blossom palette and the Hasina palette in case you think that the shades are similar. So I have swatched the green Clover and the green Yamelia next to each other. So the first shade is the from the Hasina palette every time. So I have compared the greens, the blues, the light purples, and the reds and the browns. Each and every shade are completely different. The only ones that looks kind of the same are the greens. So I am pleasantly surprised about that, because first I was thinking that maybe she had reused some of the shades in this palette. So now talking about the mattes, I do find that there are some duds in this palette. I will say that there are a few shades in this palette that I haven't used, and one of them is this brown, and then I haven't used this shade. It's just not shades that I tend to go to, especially not when I have a colorful palette like this. But I do think it's nice that she included them, because if some people are a little bit afraid of color, it could be nice for them to go in with a brown as a transition shade, or to mix an orange and this bronzy shade. And then I haven't used this shade, and I have used every other shade. So first off, the green shade contains a lot of kick up. I don't mind, I'm just saying how it is. This shade, the Hasina shade, is not very pigmented. I did use it as a transition shade today, and I had to go in like 5 times to make the shadow really appear, and you will see that in tomorrow's video as well. So I don't really like this shade. The blue shade is pretty, but this is the one that I have right here, and you have to build this one up to make it appear. If you don't, then like you will see this in tomorrow's tutorial as well, but it needs some building up to do, which can be nice for some as well. If you don't want the color to be as strong, then that could be something for you. I prefer to get a lot of pigment right off the bat, and I actually prefer the blue in the Blossom palette, but that is because it's more of like a very bold blue, which is totally my jam. The red shade I used, like if I swatch this, I can swatch this once again. It is quite dry, but when I swatch this, oh my god, it is like a beautiful red. But it is something when you try and just blend it out that makes it like a strawberry red, and I know that not everyone loves that, and a lot of questions I get when a palette contains a red is what kind of red it is. So if you do want to know, it's like a strawberry red, but I really like this. I actually paired this with a pink look. This is the pink look I did, which was like a pink purple look, was my favorite, and I actually used this red then, and I thought it was stunning. So yeah, that was all of my thoughts about this palette. I do love it. I would say that this shade is a dud, and I would probably not reach for the blue again. But other than that, I think that the shades are spectacular. Keep in mind, I haven't used the brown, this one, and this one. Other than that, I do love all of these shades. Can I recommend this? Yes, totally, of course. I do also want to say that the Hasina palette is called, I think she explained that Hasina is beautiful. It translates to beautiful. I do also want to mention that I have a discount code, so if you do want to buy this palette and you want to get some 10% off, you can use my code. I don't earn a single penny of this. It's just that you guys can get some discount if you use my code, and it's Paulina Beauty 10 with all like small letters, no big ones, just small letters, and that will give you 10% off. That was all that I had to show you guys today, or that was all of my thoughts. I love this palette. I think she did it again. I think that she knocked it out of the park, and I'm so happy that I love her shimmers, because I was a little bit scared, like, what if the shimmers wouldn't be that great? But I am so proud of her. Like, she is growing every day, and she's just getting better and better, and now she is working on the Hasina 2 palette, and I can't wait for that. She has already revealed it. It's so beautiful, and I'm totally getting that palette. But that was all from me today. Let me know if you think that this palette is worth checking into or not. I would love to hear from you. But yeah, that was all from me today. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you liked it, dislike if you didn't like it, and I will see you guys tomorrow or in one day or two. Bye!